All right, Mega India Today exclusive news break here. Sources have told that traces of blood has been found in the bathroom in the Aftab Shraddha case. The blood traces found in Aftab's bathroom. Man who sold drugs to Aftab has also been identified. Now this comes as a headway for the police as they were trying to understand how this murder has fully been carried out. Even as much as Aftab has admitted to the crime, the police will have to piece together all possible evidence to present a case so that he is punished with the most stringent sections. This is a huge development that India Today has accessed and has been tracking. As per police sources, the investigative team have found traces of blood in a bathroom. Blood traces found in Aftab's bathroom. The man who sold the drugs to Aftab also has been identified, as Aftab is said to have been a drug addict. He was being given drugs, he was consuming drugs extensively, and that was another point of friction between Shraddha and Aftab constantly, as Shraddha would often advise him to stay away from drugs, but yet he regularly consumed it, is what the police is now suspecting, as they've also found the drug peddler who has sold drugs to Aftab. Now, whether Aftab was under the influence of drugs while pulling off this murder, all of that will be established as part of the investigation. But for now, the police have managed to find that man who has sold drugs to Aftab regularly. This is a Mega India Today news break, as traces of blood has been found in the bathroom. In fact, the blood traces has been found in Aftab's bathroom. Shreya, what exactly does this piece of information do as part of the investigation? How does it really guide the police in what direction? They found traces of blood in Aftab's bathroom, and what does this signify?
Well, it signifies that, you remember, Aftab had said that he used to chop the body parts of Shraddha, opening the shower inside the bathroom. The fact that now the CFSL has found traces of blood in the bathroom probably could give an edge to the investigation. Now, if this actually goes ahead and turns out to be the blood of Shraddha, it's a clincher piece of evidence to actually book Aftab and put him in the judicial trial. Now, Delhi police has been a little tight-lipped only because of one reason. They wanted to be very sure and secure that they have that one theory in hand, which probably books Aftab and also tests fine in the judicial inquiry. And right now, this evidence coming in that there is samples of blood that's been found in the bathroom is a huge piece of information that we are getting to our viewers. And the reason behind that, because Aftab, remember, had verbally confessed before the Delhi police that he used to chop the body parts of Shraddha inside the bathroom, opening the shower.
Right. Tell us a little more about this man, the drug peddler who sold drugs to Aftab. We believe that the police have also tracked down on that man. And how was Aftab under the influence of drugs while carrying out that murder? Has the police been able to establish that?
Well, this obviously is the suspicion of the Delhi police, because again, which is based on the sustained interrogation of Aftab that's been done by the Delhi police. The reason primarily why we saw Delhi police sending their teams to Uttarakhand as well as Himachal Pradesh. Now, with this person coming on the forefront, this drug peddler that we're talking about, Delhi police will obviously be able to understand that whether there is a larger picture behind the murder, whether there could be a motive that could be linked to probably a drug syndicate, which was also being suggested, will probably be clearer right now with this person coming into the picture. So it is a very crucial piece of investigation that we're seeing, which largely lies on statements and scientific evidence, and that's the reason the more such characters come to the light, it will only aid the Delhi police in unearthing the entire murder trail as they go in for trial of Aftab in the court.
All right. You know, so far from what we hear, drugs was one of the main reasons for friction between the two. As per investigation, we hear that there were a lot of quarrels between Aftab and Shraddha, because Shraddha constantly tried to advise Aftab against using drugs. But when we spoke to Shraddha's friends as well, Shreya, we believe that Aftab was himself a peddler because he was hardly working. He relied on Shraddha's money extensively and also sold hash brownies, all kinds of drugs, only to make a quick buck. And that helped him sustain for quite a long time. Is that true? Has the police managed to understand whether Aftab himself was a drug peddler or not?
Well, as of now, that's not been corroborated. However, it's important to point out that right now the investigation stands at such a way that, it can probably take a different turn. And that's the reason Delhi police is not saying no to any such probabilities. Whether or not that he was involved in a drug syndicate, whether that was also a reason behind the entire murder that's happened, that's something that Delhi police is not saying no to. Remember the last status report that the Delhi police had shared before the media? They had suggested that there are multiple theories that they have before them on the basis of the statements that have come from Aftab. Right now they're corroborating those. So we cannot say that it is not possible that Aftab might also be a part of this entire drug theory. It could very well be possible, but right now probably we'll have to wait for a more sustained information that's coming from Delhi police. But the fact that this man has been identified is probably going to assist the Delhi police in unearthing the larger picture, as they obviously in all likelihood will be recording the person's statement.
All right. Shreya, a quick word on the kind of evidence that the police has found. We believe that a jawbone has been found in the forest area, along with some 3 other, fragments of bones that have been strewn around in the forest area, which the police has now managed to seize. Would you be able to tell us how far could this be Shraddha's? What's the kind of doubt that the police has? Is it in the same vicinity that the other body parts were thrown around, or is it far away from the Mehroli forest?
Well, it is the same vicinity that the Delhi police has found out. And Nabila, it's important to mention to our viewers that Delhi police has mentioned before the court that the body part that's retrieved is of the deceased. That is what the claim that's been made by the Delhi police. We are yet to have a confirmation on whether a CFSL report has come or not. But the Delhi police maintains before the court that the body parts that they have retrieved so far, that also includes the jaw, is in fact the body parts of the deceased. Right now, there's 4 more days of custody that they have got for Aftab. Obviously, the narco and polygraph will only assist them in probably corroborating the entire picture in a better way.
All right. We also hear that the murder weapon, where it was purchased, the police have now reached the shop and they've tried to understand what were the tools that Aftab has used to pull off this murder. A saw, one hammer, a couple of other pieces of equipment and some tools that he has purchased to cut Shraddha's body into multiple pieces. While that said, they've still not been entirely able to recover those weapons. He's managed to throw it somewhere in Gurgaon. That's what we hear. He's admitted to the police. But where in Gurgaon has the police been able to get him to confess on that? And is he still evasive?
Well, he is evasive and he is obviously changing his statements constantly. And today also when we spoke with the lawyer of Aftab, remember he said that this man is not really aware of the entire map of Delhi because he was new to the city. Is why he's forgotten some of the places he could have disposed of the evidences. Whether that's a statement that the Delhi police is believing or not, we'll have to wait and watch for that. But right now, the reason behind that the Delhi police probably wants to unearth further is why we see the narco and the polygraph, which is obviously coming up its way. Aftab is obviously, also important to point it out, Nabila, that there's a site plan. Earlier it was being said that Aftab had drawn the site plan, but what we have right now learned that the site plan or the map indeed have actually been found from the house of Aftab. So he had it inside his house, which the police during their searches have recovered, and now based on that map, they are corroborating and finding out these bones. But they've also suggested that there are parts of the body parts of the deceased that they've already recovered. There are some that they have yet to recover, and that's the reason, the main reason why they sought the custody of Aftab on those very grounds.
Shreya, stay with us. I'm going to quickly cut across some more breaking news coming in. More shocker in Shraddha's murder saga. Aftab and Shraddha are said to have broken up many times and then came back together. In fact, there was a break for about, as far as we hear, that they've broken up 3 times, came back together then after much of the attempts by Aftab to convince her, and finally they agreed to move in together and live in an apartment as flatmates. In fact, from what we hear, Aftab and Shraddha broke up many times and they've come back together. There was a break as well, 3 times that they pulled back and then came back together again. And this time they agreed to live in together as flatmates. Let me quickly cut across to Arvind Ojha joining us live for more on that. Arvind, यहाँ पर जो आफ्ताब और श्रद्धा का relationship है, वो एक क्वाइट वायलेंट रिलेशनशिप था, वो अब तक हमें पता चला है जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन के थ्रू। मगर यहाँ पर 3 बार पहले भी वो ब्रेकअप कर चुके थे, मगर वापस आ गए, फिर डिसाइड किया वो लिव इन पार्टनर्स के जैसे वो एक दूसरे के साथ रहेंगे। आप थोड़ा उसके बारे में बताइए कि 3 बार उनका ब्रेकअप हुआ, फिर वापस आए, यू नो व्हाट वाज रियली द रीजन फॉर देम टू गो बैक एंड फोर्थ।
देखिए नबीला, जो इंडिया टुडे को सोर्सेस से नई जानकारी, जो एक्सक्लूसिव जानकारी मिली है, उसके मुताबिक जो आफ्ताब और श्रद्धा का कई बार ब्रेकअप हो चुका था। लड़ाई झगड़े की बात तो हमने पहले ही दिखाई थी, इंडिया टुडे ने दिखाई थी, लेकिन 3 बार ब्रेकअप हुआ था। उसके बाद वो फ्लैटमेट की तरह एक साथ रहने को राजी हुए थे, नंबर 1। नंबर 2, सोर्सेस से ये भी जानकारी मिली है कि न सिर्फ क्राइम।
All right, we're going to try and patch Arvind Oja's connection there. But from what we understand here, Aftab, Shraddha broke up many times, came back together despite having this violent, tumultuous relationship. And then finally, the third time when they came back together, they decided to stay together as friends, basically to stay as flatmates. So whatever the reason, they found many other ways and reasons to come back together. And one of that, finally, after much of the fight between the two, they decided, okay, we'll forget the relationship, we'll stay together as friends, as flatmates. Arvind Oja joining us back again. Arvind, बहुत लड़ाई के बाद उन्होंने फिर अंत में डिसाइड किया है कि रिलेशनशिप छोड़ो, हम दोस्त की तरह रहेंगे, फ्लैटमेट्स के दौर पे रहेंगे एक दूसरे के साथ, मगर कैसे भी करके एक दूसरे के साथ ही रहना था उनको।
जी बिल्कुल, देखिए कहीं ना कहीं ये जो रिलेशनशिप है, इस रिलेशनशिप के एंड की ये एक कह सकते हैं कि अंत था। जिस तरीके से 2019 से लड़ाइयां चल रही थी, 3 बार ब्रेकअप हुआ, ये इन्वेस्टिगेशन में सामने आया है। उसके बाद फ्लैटमेट की तरह रहना, इससे ये क्लियर होता है कि दोनों के बीच डिस्टेंस काफी बढ़ गया था, नंबर 1। नंबर 2, इन्वेस्टिगेशन में ये भी जानकारी मिली है कि श्रद्धा और आफ्ताब का जो कॉमन फ्रेंड था, वो ड्रग में डील करता था। सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट जो इंडिया टुडे को जानकारी मिली है, जहां तक एविडेंस के बारे में लगातार ये हम डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं कि किस तरह के एविडेंस, इंडिया टुडे ने सबसे पहले ये बताया था कि किचन से ब्लड के ट्रेस मिले हैं, जो एफएसएल ने वो ट्रैक किया था। लेकिन दिल्ली पुलिस के टॉप ऑफिशियल ने बताया कि न सिर्फ दिल्ली की एफएसएल बल्कि सीएफएसएल की टीम भी स्पॉट पर गई थी, क्राइम सीन पर गई थी। उनको बाथरूम से ब्लड के ट्रेस मिले हैं और वो सैंपल कलेक्ट किए गए हैं। बाथरूम से ब्लड के सैंपल मिलना इसलिए भी इम्पोर्टेंट है नबीला, क्योंकि आफ्ताब ने ये कबूल किया है कि उसने बाथरूम में ही जो श्रद्धा की बॉडी है उसको चॉप की थी और शॉवर चला देता था। लेकिन वहां जब सीएफएसएल की टीम पहुंची तो बाथरूम से और जो टाइल्स है उसको तोड़ा गया, वहां से ब्लड के ट्रेस मिले हैं। तो ये काफी क्रूशियल लीड हो सकता है श्रद्धा के मर्डर केस में। तो ये वो चीजें हैं जो दिल्ली पुलिस ने अपनी इन्वेस्टिगेशन के दौरान फॉरेंसिक एक्सपर्ट की मदद से कलेक्ट की है। तो किचन से ब्लड के स्टेन मिलना, उसके अलावा बाथरूम से ब्लड के स्टेन मिलना, ये सैंपल सीएफएसएल और एफएसएल लैब में भेजे गए हैं। सीएफएसएल की ज्यादा मदद जो है दिल्ली पुलिस ले रही है और यही इन्वेस्टिगेशन में इसमें सामने आया कि 3 बार ब्रेकअप हुआ था, जिसके बाद वो फ्लैट मेट की तरह एक साथ रहने को राजी हुए थे। यानी डिस्टेंस काफी ज्यादा बढ़ गया था और जब डिस्टेंस बढ़ जाता है तो इस तरह का जो क्राइम है वो कहीं ना कहीं सामने आता है। नबीला।
Arvind, thank you very much for joining us on that. In fact, India Today has been very closely tracking those developments in this case. It's quite a gruesome murder, and each passing day we see that the police are able to unravel some more gory details that really leads back to Aftab's mentality. The way he pulled out this murder, absolutely bone-chilling.